Hi guys, welcome to Stylish Pickle. My name is Mike. This video is for beginners who are interested to learn pickleball and also to reach pickleball skill level of 2.0. There will be a huge focus on dinking because dinking makes it easier for you to learn other skill sets later on. Not to mention that dinking is the highest level of defense which you need to master in the end. So let's jump straight in. First, let's touch on the grip. So we have Continental Grip for beginners. It is also known as the neutral grip or the hammer grip. Alright, this is extremely versatile and it allows you to hit all kinds of shots. The example should give you a good idea of how to hold a Continental Grip. However, if you need more information, feel free to check online. Next, we need to touch on grip strength. So the harder you grip, the further it will bounce. Try to grip as hard as you can to identify a 10 out of 10 grip strength. Ideally, you should be gripping at a 3 or less so that the ball has a higher chance to stay in court when you hit back. And having a relaxed grip also reduces chances of injuries and allow better motion of your wrist when it's needed for advanced level. So please take note of that, yeah? Next, we need to touch on racket face on contact point. Alright, so unlike table tennis, and badminton, pickleball racket face on contact point must have a wide angle at contact point facing upward. And as far as I can remember, only slice and overhead shots require racket face contact point of around 90-degree angle. Most pickleball techniques require you to scoop the ball up before you apply the drive or flick, so you need to get used to this. Next is the area of contact point. You need to memorize this. No matter how you are being pushed back or put in an awkward position, you only hit the ball in front of your body. And to be specific, stretch out your arm in front of you. That's where you should be hitting the ball at all times. If you have to take a step back to hit the ball in front of you, please do it and get used to it. It will happen many times throughout the games. So these are examples of common mistakes. Once the ball crosses the boundary closer to your body, the quality of your shots will be badly affected. One way to identify the mistake is when your elbow touches your body. Once your elbow touches your body, you deactivate shoulder muscles, and you need both arm and shoulder muscles for quality shots. When you hit quality shots, even the ball will sound differently. It's very obvious. Next, I want to touch on your knees. Your knees should be bent at all times, especially when you are getting ready to take on receiving shots, because your knees are supposed to bend according to the height of the balls coming towards you. Bending your knees also helps you to move a lot faster, but unfortunately, if you have knees issue, you are definitely at a massive disadvantage. You are guaranteed to lose, especially when we are dinking. Take a look at these common mistakes. I see them all the time. Please avoid these mistakes as much as you can. There is no shortcut. You have to do your lunges to move and you have to do your squat to dink. That's the principle of pickleball movement. Next, we touch on basic pickleball posture. Okay, so knees bent and body lean forward with your arms in front of your body. Very much keeping in mind that elbow should never touch your body. I would like to put another emphasis on your arm placement. So the lower the arm placement, the slower is your reaction time. I mean, for obvious reasons, right? Due to gravity and distance towards hitting the ball. Please also remember to put most of your weight in front of your body so that it's easier to block or push away the incoming balls. It does make a difference. Ideally, the arms placement should be higher to increase response time. This is not easy to remember, just do your best. Okay, so here is an interesting example, but there may be some bias because it does look like I'm moving slower when my arms are down. But based on my experience, I do experience faster response when my arms are higher. You can give it a try and see how it goes. It works for me, so I hope it works for you as well. Okay? Dinking is basically a slow and smooth motion of lifting up your shoulder. In pickleball, it is mainly used as defense. Even at the highest level, dinking is the most effective level of defense. It's very important to understand the difference dinking with just your arm and with both your arm and shoulder. Your arm alone is not enough to absorb the bounce effectively, so it tends to bounce higher. But with your arm and shoulder combined, it will cushion the impact more effectively, causing a smoother return and a lower bounce closer to the net, rendering opponents' aggressiveness. As long as your shoulder is not pointing vertically downwards, your shoulder is already in action. Remember that. So when dinking from your forehand, you need to take the right step back to give space for your right shoulder to scoop up the ball. And when dinking from a backhand, you need to take a left step back to give space for your left shoulder to scoop up the ball. Alright, you'll be constantly adjusting your posture during the game, so please get used to all these motions, yeah? When you are dinking, you are literally scooping up the ball at the kitchen near the net. The goal is to scoop up the ball as gently as you can so that it can curve down very close to the net. If your ball is flying straight across the net, most likely you are missing out on your shoulder muscle and your racket face is probably not wide enough. Another thing to note is your grip strength. It must be 20 to 30% only, so you don't tighten your sensitive arm muscle. It's very easy to practice dinking at home. Drop the ball and practice repetitions until you get it right. The height of the net is supposed to be around your waist, thereabouts. Make sure the ball goes slightly above. There is no difference for backhand, just need to work on repetitions. The ball has to curve downwards as you can see from the demonstration. You can also practice at home with a chair leaning on a wall or curtain so that it can roll back to you if you hit the right spot. Curtain is the best because it can absorb the noise and impact very nicely. Volley dink means that you are hitting the ball in the air before it bounces on the floor. I call it volley dink because I want beginners to get used to this motion. It's the same motion as dinking, but keeping in mind that rather than scooping, it is a pushing motion this time round. Visually, it looks the same, but when you apply the motion, it's very different. Please follow the demonstration and practice repetitions along the way. Let me slow it down for you to see the push. One very important thing to remember here is on contact point of the push, your arm must be almost straight. Not 100%, but almost straight, as you can see from the example. Because if you're 100% straight, then your whole arm will be too rigid. It's not flexible. So it's almost straight, but not 100% straight. Keep that in mind. Again, you can practice volley dink at home facing the curtain. So you just need to toss the ball in the air and push it towards the curtain. And again, I would like to emphasize that the grip strength here is also 20 to 30% only. You are supposed to be relaxed. Now we move towards the high dink. You should use this to serve to opponent's baseline at the start of the game, or to return opponent's serve back to their baseline. It is a combination of scoop and push. An easy way to do this is simply to lift your shoulder much higher. And for aiming purpose, make sure the shoulder is facing the correct side of the court. That will allow it to hit to the other side correctly. And please don't practice this at home for obvious reason. It's gonna smash into the wall or the fence or the ceiling, okay? Pickleball game comes with a lot of lunges and squatting, so you have to get used to lunges as you move along. You can practice your footwork for pickleball anywhere on a flat surface. This will improve your motions when you're on the actual game. So, how do you play pickleball game at a 2.0 skill level? Follow this and you will be just fine. First rule, any ball that reaches you near the baseline, just perform a high dink and push it back to opponent's baseline. Don't be tempted to push the ball with your arm. Remember to lift your shoulder up high as often as possible. You most likely only need to return such a shot at the beginning of the point. After you push the ball back to the opponent's baseline, you should move forward, either to the middle or all the way at the kitchen. Rule number 2, any ball that is coming towards you fast, just apply the Dink volley and push it back. It will take you some time to get used to the motion. The ball does move quite fast from here. And remember to squat or lunge if you must. Adjust your body and footwork frequently. Arms straighten on contact point. Keep up the repetitions and you will get the hang of it soon enough. Try to engage your opponents with dinking around the kitchen. Around the net, obviously. This is a very important skill set and is considered the most effective defense. But most players below 4.0 tend to prefer hitting the ball hard rather than dinking. So it's really up to you to engage them with a dink, if you want to practice dinking, of course. Also, to remember to practice dinking on the move, either one step forward or one step backwards. Remember that you are supposed to hit all the balls in front of your body, with your elbow far away from your body. This is extremely important. Well, I don't have an example for overhead hitting, but you are welcome to hit as you wish because it is not a requirement for 2.0. But many of the more experienced players love lobbing beginners because it's really funny to see how they fumble. So please be prepared and just take it with a pinch of salt, okay? So that's all for me. This is the end of the Pickleball Skill Level 2.0 course. You're welcome to reach me via email or Instagram. If you find this useful, please subscribe and turn on the notification bell. Stay tuned to my Skill Level 3.0 course. My name is Mike from Stylish Pickles. See you soon and thank you for watching.